Riverside.
Right, everybody.
One more time. Like, don't you start messing up.
But listen, I'm gonna shut down everything. We won't talk about that.
I need one tab open. Actually, 3 tabs.
Yeah, I got
WGI.
All right, I'm going to shut down Twitter. So there we go. We should have no issues, which we probably will just because I said that. Okay. Anyway, hi everyone. Welcome to On the Back Hash. We're talking
Chris
about
is talking that mess, and look, he done froze now.
See?
I ain't froze. I'm here. It ain't me.
Froze.
I'm here.
You froze.
I'm here.
So joining with me today is Chris, Zach, and Will. This is episode 31. We are on the back end of the regional season for WGI. We've had this past weekend going down, and then we got one more weekend to go before everybody's circuit championships start up. But before we kind of get into all of that, everybody have a good week.
Yeah, man.
Dude, there was so much to watch this weekend. Like, I had to push stuff to the side. Yeah, NCAA, you had 18 million regionals for WGI. And disc golf, which for me is like one of the big things. I actually pushed that to the side.
Look at him.
This weekend. So real quick, if no one has seen this, sorry. There's a guy, some of you guys might play disc golf, you might not. There's a guy named Eagle McMahon, pretty good disc golfer. There's a clip of him throwing this shot and he hits a dude in the top of his head. It's a camera guy. Like, he throws a shot 100-something feet in the air, came down, and if you know anything about disc, you have drivers, kind of like ball golf, and they're like this thin. It's like a blade almost, and hit him right in the head, split his head. It was insane.
Ooh.
It was crazy. So,
is his real name Eagle?
Yeah, his name's Eagle. Yeah, Eagle McMahon.
That's a disc golf name if I've ever heard one.
Also, shout outs. Sorry, I'm on a disc golf. This does connect to what we're talking about here, so I will say this.
Right.
The last tournament, a guy named Kyle Klein won, and last year they did a thing. What would you do if you weren't a pro disc golfer?
Oh yeah.
And he said he'd be marching in a drum corps. So he is a drum corps dude. He looks like a drummer. If you ever see him, you see him you play snare. He looks like one of those kids. So
when two worlds collide.
Well,
I freaked out.
I really think it's funny. People who have hobbies like that are sometimes people who do things for a living. So in this case, this guy's a professional disc golfer or whatever, tend to have hobbies that are kind of aligned with stuff. So a lot of music folks and a lot of music majors and people in the music profession do disc golf for fun. That's the thing that they do. Buddy of mine I went to college with, Richard Burchett, who's a band director. That's what he does. He disc golf. He's taught his little girl how to disc golf. And then several of our fraternity brothers do it as well. So I know you two, you and Zach, just play disc golf. Will, have you ever played?
No.
You never played disc golf?
No. We got a course here that I walk and exercise around. It's a pretty nice course. I don't really know a lot about the game, but I watch the guys play out there. It's something that I think I could watch though. I've never played it, but it does look like fun because I'd be making fun of them when they keep hitting the trees and stuff like that, and then I'd be ducking when I'm walking through. They be trying to apologize. I'd be like, man, it's my fault. I shouldn't be walking over here anyway. So
you're gonna be like that camera guy this weekend. I'm telling you, man, crazy.
It's fun. I've played a couple times, and it's cool. I always feel bad when I lose somebody else's disc because I don't have a disc. I'm always borrow somebody's. And I'll throw in.
Why don't you have Zach tell the story about the time we played, and he jinxed my life.
Well, you deserved it.
Not your whole life.
Yeah. He said, I hope you lose your favorite disc. And he got stuck in a tree.
Very next throw.
Very next throw.
Listen.
Hey, I digress.
So, lesson learned. Do not play disc golf with Zach.
No.
Easy.
don't play disc golf, and I don't know what he said or did to make me say that, but don't do that.
Don't do that. So, oh man. But yeah, so busy weekend, lots of regionals and lots of movers and shakers kind of happening. So because of all of the stuff, and I was busy this weekend, I took a group down to Atlanta for their percussion regional. So I didn't get to watch. Oh, I got to watch the groups that were there, but I didn't get to watch any of the slow marching regionals and anything because I had to babysit my children because they are children. But what I did, so instead of going over like just individual regional scores for guard, what we're going to do is I made a compiled list that I am calling the 85 Club. Kind of stole this from full marching. I think last year they did this with the 90 Club, groups that kind of scored 90 and just kind of highlighted them. But I did it with 85 because if you're popping in that range right about now, you are in pretty good shape to make finals. Like their numbers are starting to get stingy. They're starting to settle in and starting to see, the cream is starting to rise to the top, as they say. And so I'm just gonna kind of run down these schools and groups in the guard world, percussion world. We'll probably just go down to drum ranks and just kind of talk about some groups that are making some movers and some shakers in that department as far as wins too. So real quick, in the 85 Club in Scholastic A, we got Friendswood High School. They scored a 91.05. South Lake Carroll with a 90.210. Clearbrook, go ahead, Will.
Let's go.
Clearbrook with an 89.32. We got Bartram Trail High School with an 87.5. Timber Creek, and I think this is the Texas one, with an 86.82. And then Timber Creek and Florida with an 85.64. So same name and very similar scores and two completely different regionals. That's pretty funny. Keller Central High School with an 85.65. Salem High School with an 85.93. And Liverpool High School with an 85.54. So these are just the ones that scored an 85 this past weekend. Some may have scored some beforehand. I'm sure Friendswood already, if they're in the 91 range now, good God Almighty.
Man, did you see it?
I tried to look that up. I tried to look that up on YouTube and I couldn't find it. But I'd like to see what you're doing to score 91 in mid-March. Because how did you not get? You must have like the perfectly written A-class show to be doing that stuff and not get promoted. Are they waiting to go out the promotion period? It's like, all right, all these twos that you're throwing on rifle, make them five. I'm like, what?
Right. Hold on.
So that was Scholastic A. In Independent A, you had Let's Eclipse with an 85.47 this weekend. And then Tampa Independent A groups with an 85.23. So those are your 85 and the A classes. In Scholastic Open, you had Somerset Academy scored an 87.4 this past weekend. And then Shenandoah High School with an 85.7. And an Oviedo, I think that's what that is, with an 85.1. So those are your Scholastic Open.
Go ahead, Shenandoah.
Yeah. An Independent Open, Pegasus Winter Guard Open group scored an 87.2. And Origins Open group scored an 85.7. In Scholastic World, Stoneman Douglas High School with an 85. That was the only independent Scholastic World group that scored an 85 this weekend. Not to say nobody else has done it, but for this weekend, that's what we've done. And then the Independent World, AMP with an 86. Florida FIU World with an 86.8. Origins with an 87.2. Central Florida Pegasus World Group with an 87.4. Mirage with an 87.5. Fusion Winter Guard with an 89.2. And Blessed Sacrament scored a 93.
Listen, that goddamn show, bro. Now, okay, AMP has my heart this year a little bit. I'm a little partial to it. I was like, man, that show is so good. But God, but okay, like Blessed Sac is just mad at WGI right now. I don't know what's happening. But the show is good, dude. It's so good. Them, Pride, Ane, I think it's Blackwash, maybe. I don't know. Just y'all missing out if y'all not keeping up with this color guard world, bro. I'm telling you, it is outrageous.
I did watch Pegasus today, and they got this 37,000 foot tall ladder. And, like, literally, I was like, how? They barely got this in the gym. Like, barely. Like, if any's lower ceiling, and that wouldn't have fit. I'm serious. But it's really cool. They have of course, most groups have an ensemble fight movement, but they do have pretty cool ensemble weapon moment with flags, and I believe sabers had it, and it's a really cool how they center a lot of stuff around that tall ladder, and they bring focus back into it. It's a really interesting body work, and yeah, it's a really cool show. So lots of movers and shakers in the world group. I do know, and these are the ones that rent to regionals. A lot of other groups probably have popped 85 or above in their local shows. Like I think I scanned and I saw where Magnolia Project scored an 87 this weekend, or either this weekend or last weekend. So, for somebody like, oh my gosh, but this group did it too. It's like these are just regional scores from this weekend.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No trip.
So
calm it down.
Yeah. We'll
Squid hand.
Yeah. So once the regional season's over and we'll get WGI's compilation, we'll study that a little bit more in detail. That way we can get a more comprehensive look at it. So, but this is just some general information for you moving forward. But it also gives you some groups that you can look up and find on YouTube too if you haven't watched them. Or if there was a final that happened today and you got Flow Marching, that would be rebroadcasting it tomorrow. So you can watch today's finals tomorrow too, so you can catch some of these groups as well. So moving on to the percussion world of stuff. I had some movers and shakers. I know you guys got to watch some other things. So while I get some stuff pulled up, anything that kind of jumped out to you as far as performances?
Rhythm X. Ha! Sorry. Good, continue. That's all I need to say.
Will, was it George Mason that we were both watching and texting during and just talking about how cool it was? Was it them?
It's them and
United.
And United Percussion.
Yeah, those two.
But that George Mason show,
I like that a lot. That's clever. That's cool.
Remind me what that one was again.
It's like
it's a time capsule.
Yeah,
they're doing a time capsule.
Yeah.
Going through years and stuff, and they're playing all this old school music, and but it's so funny to me because they pick like the most random songs.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nothing what you thought somebody probably would pick.
No,
and that's why I really like it because I'm like, and the way they do it is like hella creative right now. I'm just like, I see you, George.
That's cool.
Jukebox in the back.
Say what?
Is that the one with like a jukebox in the back?
No, they have like this like thing.
It's like a stone.
It's kind of like a monolith.
It looks like
deal.
It looks like
and
a
they
stone
pull
or
these
something.
little capsules out of it, and when they pull out,
like it's legit little blocks of castles.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Light up and stuff. It's crazy creative.
I think I saw early, and I don't think maybe I missed the capsules because I'm blind and I can't see. But I think I know what show you're talking about. It's been a few weeks since I've seen it. I can revisit it.
That was
they maybe didn't have it back then. I mean, the little thing has like a light on it or whatever, and then at the end, they do the present song, which is basically them playing for the future or the present or whatever. But I was like,
it's like recording them for whoever finds it next. Yeah, that's some cool stuff.
It's like, George,
and then the United Percussion show was.
And because you can't even knock United because United, man, those scores were so tight.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Especially when we get to Independent World. There is a group, and I was going to talk to you about it off camera, but there's a group that we need to do. They just put our video out of a full performance. that we have not seen that name, but they are making a splash in the independent world. So we'll talk about them when we get there, but we're gonna check them out.
Oh no!
Oh yeah. So I didn't watch the video, but I saw it just came out today. So and by today it's Sunday. So by the time you guys see that, it's starting out. Anyway, so Percussion Scholastic Club. Before we even get into this, I want you to look at all of the groups that have been promoted.
Listen,
open class.
Once
I'm
again,
here for it though.
we talk about it every single time. This is what this system, why it works so well, man. It's the way it should be.
It needs to happen, and then let them get into worlds.
And I'll
Let them jack it all up. I'm here for it. We don't need 40,000 groups in A class, and then nobody's scared to bump them there. No, get them in world class so they can start sweating too.
And I feel like there's been a movement. I feel like there's been a movement this year to make that happen. Because there's been groups that get bumped, but like this is a large amount, like to where I'd have to look at the numbers, but Scholastic Open and Independent Open may be larger than A class for the first time since I can remember.
I wouldn't put doubt in that at all.
Which makes sense to me because you would think, that we're doing this based off of skill set and design set, it should be, in my opinion, it should be a bell curve. So you should have most of your groups in the middle, in the intermediate category, and then your world and your A class should be kind of like outliers. But for a while there was more world class groups than there was open class, especially in the independent side of things. So it's really good to see, and it's just good to see that the boundaries are getting pushed. In what you're probably going to end up, I don't know if they'll ever do it. But if this continues to happen, if this type of movement starts to happen, you might see a fourth class, and I think it'll be between A and Open.
Like they got to do something.
I think it'll be between A and Open.
Well, I'm about to say, it's like I feel like we always talk about how the majority of your groups are in the A class, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because like your upper groups are usually capable of open. So maybe that it's almost like the slogan in baseball. They always talk about like you're quadruple A, like you're too good for triple A, but you might not be right. You might not be there enough for the majors. So you need somewhere to be kind of flowing in between. So that might be a good, bridge to that to open.
Cause I was going to take like that same idea you just had is kind of what I was thinking. Is like, wouldn't that make sense if it was put between world, considering how we keep talking about there needs to be a galaxy class?
Yeah.
So make world finally be world, and all these groups that are lacking a little bit in world class, they go to that in between class between open and world now. So world can be that class that everybody thinks world needs to be, or you see what I'm saying? Like it almost seemed like it would be more beneficial if they did put a class between open and world and let these world groups finally go whatever, or they need to make that galaxy class.
It'd be interesting. Will it happen? I don't think so, but
I don't either, but it really do need to.
It
really needs to, because if we're talking in general of all things of humanity and evolution, this has to change. At some point in life, it has to change. I've been saying stuff like this too, like they're going to have to start implementing a whole lot more NBA rules in college at some point. I've been saying it, especially in college football and the NFL. I was like, we need to go and get rid of the 1 foot down. They need 2 feet down in college now. Because you already got players practicing doing that anyways for the NFL. So college needs to go ahead and go and make that a rule. That's just me. At some point, human in the world, everything's got to evolve. At some point, you're going to have to say something.
Mm. So,
or don't complain when stuff starts going crazy.
So we'll see how let's see how all that stuff turns out. So looking at PSA, just kind of run it down. And a lot of folks ran out this week, so you can compare a lot of these scores and things of that nature as far as just like what's being scored. Remember, the asterisk beside the score means that these are regional scores, so those are scores that a WGI trained panel scored them as. So it's kind of running it down. You got Bellbrook up top with a 92.25. Be interested to see what that show looks like, being scoring that high and staying in.
I mean, it's been pretty much first all season.
Yeah.
I think, if I remember correctly.
So it just must be the quintessential A-class show, and it just must be playing the heck out of it. You got Everett with the 89, Unionsville, Pearl, Beaver Creek, Hampfield, they're a new group to me. I haven't heard of that one before. Kings out of Ohio, Pyramidian, Sycamore, staple name in the A-class world, Noblesville, Springford. I'm glad I read that before I said what I was thinking, because I almost said Pokemon Valley.
Pokemon Valley. I choose you.
With an 82.
Center snare, go.
Yeah.
Play paradiddle.
Listen, that is a missed opportunity.
I'm done.
Damn it! See, now somebody's gonna take it,
I'm just saying, that is a missed opportunity.
and we gonna see it.
They're gonna have to pay all the copyright fees. They can't even afford to go to World Championships because they pay copyright to.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah, we'll.
Be worth it.
Lord.
Minoka with 83.5, Oak Ridge 83.15, and then rounding out the top 15, got Westfield with an 83.135. And then
Now remind me how many they take in finals at
15.
WGI? 15?
15.
Okay.
1.5. I know guard they have pushed that to 20, but not.
Sheesh.
Well, when there's 7 million.
Well,
But a lot of familiar names that I'm seeing on this list. But like I said, that's 43 right there going to World Championships. But it used to be 43 plus all of these. So you got that going on. A lot of these guys have been open off for most of it, but a lot of these guys competed for the first time in open class this weekend. So welcome to your new world, I guess. So some of this may change, but it looks like I would be willing to bet. We talked about that magic 85 number. These top 8 groups can feel pretty safe. But battling down, you want to be in the 85 range to feel good about your chances at finals. So keep pushing. Those guys
Scores are close too in that last little pack.
They are.
So.
They are, and that's the way you want it. You really do. You don't want somebody just for competitive balance just running away with the class, because then it's really not. It's really no fun. And I'm glad. We'll talk about them when we get to concert, but I'm glad that there were some moves made with that. In Percussion Scholastic Open, Kettering Fairmont, that shows, yeah, it's pretty good. Then we got Victor J. After them, Brownsburg, Fairlawn, Ravenwood.
Okay, Ravenwood.
Cesareville. That show, I always like their shows. I do. Northview, Greenfield Central, New Milford, Clover, Gulfport, Foothill, Boswell, Newark, and Milford is rounding up the top 15. But Plainfield's right under their tails, so is Trumbull. Paces could make a move towards final. And then you see a lot of these groups that have been permitted. So if you see a little bit
I was just about to say that. It's like you see all those ones promoted up at the top already.
So Northview got promoted. They're sitting 7th after this past weekend. New Milford got promoted, sitting 9th. So it looks like they're making some really good decisions as far as who's getting bumped and things of that nature. So a lot of these groups, Franklin Central, Dolphin, all these groups are coming in and making some waves. And some of these groups might have took some time off, 96. They haven't gone out since 3-4. If you don't know, the different classifications has different time requirements. So with that, you end up if you say you designed your show for A class and you only wrote 5 minutes worth of music, well, you get up to 7. So because of that, you might have to add some more music to your show just to make sure you meet time requirements and things of that nature. So some people might have took an extra week off that they typically wouldn't have, just to adjust their show to the new classification. So as you can see, here's all the groups that got bumped to open, but here's the groups that were in open who got bumped to world. So, like I said, this is
Bridge.
Yeah, and we looked, we looked at that chart last year, and you could see. Yeah, are you looking at numbers?
No, I didn't see the numbers yet, but I saw it got put to world.
Yeah, Clearbrook's Brook, Clovis, Old Bridge, Great Oak, and Brandon Valley. And Software, of course, Software has been in there for a while. Mm-hmm. And Dorman, who I got to see this past weekend, I think that was a good choice for them to get moved up.
Was that the what's this show?
Brothers versus Brothers. That's what that show was.
Oh yeah, that was good too. Yeah. I saw so many this week. I can't keep up with who's who.
I was about to say, I was like, man, there's so
like one group would go on a break for a class change, and I'd switch over.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or like one show ended prelims, and the other one still had like 2 hours worth of prelims on. So,
I kind of had it on the background. We were putting together a bed, and like I was like, I stop and I watch, and then I had to like switch over real quick, and like it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Flow March was all over the place. They just must got it. They must have extended their staff because, good Lord, they're everywhere.
Had to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
even the guard side had 3 of them too. I think.
Yeah,
it's like because I was going back to theirs too. It's like
it's a big weekend. So in Scholastic World, we have Dartmouth on top with a 93.5 this weekend. So
I saw a clip of that.
Go.
Okay.
It's it's Dartmouth. They're gonna put a movie in the floor.
I have not seen that show yet.
It's
the
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I don't know exactly what the title is, but I mean, you can imagine.
I think it's called The Raven from the Desk of Edgar Allan Poe. I think that's the name.
Yeah, something like. But jeez, that drum set player is.
Dude, he was a monster last year.
Well, he must be back because they are.
Man.
He got a 6-year eligibility.
He took a COVID year and. Jeez.
Took a sabbatical. Came back.
Yeah.
Listen, some people, that's what they do, man. They're sitting up top, looking real nice. Chino Hill's still up there, and they hadn't gone on 2 weeks. So
yeah,
that's more 314 when they come back out. Avon with a 91 this weekend, 91.5, big number. Ayala sitting up there, cool with an 89. Old Bridge, first weekend open. What
did you say?
Fine.
What I just say?
Fine.
Welcome to world class.
Listen. all you groups that thought so, this is why I said, get them in world. Shake it up. Put some sweat on these top folks who thought they just had it easy. Start making them sweat.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Competition never hurts anybody. And like I said, when you feel like you got a shot, you compete differently. You think about it differently. You'll take some risk.
Old Bridge was the what if or what's this show with the tambourines. That's them, I think.
Yeah, I need to try and catch that.
Am I right on that, William?
That sounded right. As soon as you said tambourine, I was like, I think that is it.
I think that's them. That show was good too.
Center Grove, Staple, good number. Arcadia, Vista Miro, Fair, another promoted group.
Top 10, just casual. Yeah, they've been out for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I was gonna say been promoted and just sitting there at top 10.
Yeah,
like,
they're getting some show world class ready. I'm sure. Maybe add some more content so they can continue to compete. Franklin Central, Burleson Centennial, Sparkman went out there. Clovis, another promotion group, sitting in the top 15. Fishers, and then Dorman. I got to see Dorman live twice. When that gets clean,
oh,
good God Almighty!
Yeah.
That was some good stuff.
They come out with the rudimental drums, the old sling drums from like the Civil War period, and it's very stylistically appropriate. And
because we talked about that, Zach.
because I was like, because I was sitting there, I was like, they could probably get away with using this the whole show, but they do switch off and they do switch to like a normal marching drum, but like just the aesthetic that they give out, the scene that they're putting down.
Yeah, that whole show.
I was very impressed, and
it's good stuff.
For them to, you can look and see why they got bombed. Like you can easily see, like, okay, yeah, this is definitely a work class. They belong right where they needed to be. So, they're sitting 15th right now. This will move up. This is to me personally, that's a top 10 show.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of this is going to obviously change because it's drum rank, but
yeah,
Jesus, man. Because when we were sitting there watching, I was just looking at the show. I was like, you know what? At this point, I don't even care what they're playing. I said, this show is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of setting the scene and just allow you to enjoy the show for what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kudos to them. Centerville, outside looking in right now. Homestead, and that's a name that's, you're used to seeing, but they haven't gone out in a couple of weeks. So you can clean up a lot in 1 or 2 weeks. These top groups, it don't take them long to get better. It really don't. So I would say nobody's out of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said
nobody's out of it.
It's gonna get crazy when it actually gets around that time. Because these folks that have done it before and been in it, they're not gonna just lay down. But
so, standing at Concert World right now. Sorry, Concert Class. We got a tight battle happening in A. Penn Trafford did get promoted to open, so that leaves 7 groups in PSA. So you have West Claremont sitting with an 82.1, Warren East sitting with an 81.35. But I have some inside information with them. They had a 0.75 penalty. So you do the math.
Tie.
You need to clean that up, Cedric.
Shut up. All right. Full disclosure. It was my fault. It was completely my fault because we got everything hooked up and they've been on it. We got a new system and everything's working. And I'm like, they're hitting stuff. There's no sound. I'm like, why is there no sound? I'm looking at the board in my hand. I got one of the iPads. I was like, everything's on. There's nothing muted. So I clicked one of the buttons and I unclicked it and I looked over to the master volume and I was like, oh, y'all good? Go. All right. So it was me. It was my fault. Kids did everything they were supposed to do. I hit it and I hit the button and I didn't know I hit it.
Always the instructor. Always the instructor.
So, but regardless of my ineptitude to do things, they still finished well. So, J kids, go kids. But Noonan with an 80 at that Atlanta regional. Canton McKinney was at the Dayton regional with a 76.2. Lewis Cass and East Central were both at the Indiana state prelims. Indiana's got a big enough circuit they can do state prelims and stuff like that. So their scores come from their state prelims run there. So yeah, it's anybody's getting. And we still haven't seen a talker. I think they go out this weekend. So who knows what's going to happen? That's going to be a fun class to watch. And I'm not just saying it because I'm in it, but literally, I got to see a lot of these groups. Did you guys watch anybody besides us?
I just missed McKinley at the Dayton one. I caught the back end, and I was like, I don't want to judge nothing off of that.
Yeah.
But Newman, it's real different. I actually think the concept is cool with the chains and stuff like that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tighten up the screws, man.
Yeah.
They tighten it up. It can compete pretty well, and maybe not my choice in some of the music, but as an overall production, I ain't mad at it.
Mm-hmm. So, Cook Group, I got to see him live and get to hear him play some, and they're playing well. Like they create a really nice soundscape. Things work for them. So, I just hadn't got to see anybody else besides them in the class. So yeah, we'll kind of see how that shakes out. I don't know if any of these groups are going to a regional next weekend because, like I said, a lot of circuit championships are going to start popping up. So we got that going. In Concert Open, notice the two groups that got bumped.
Well, how about that?
It's funny how that works.
Of the class. It's almost like we knew what we were talking about when we said that somebody needed to. Here's the thing. I guarantee you, because there's some smart folks up there at Penn. Like you don't have that type of success without some intelligent people behind it. But I bet they were prepared. I bet they've been prepared and was just waiting for somebody to actually do it. And when they did it, I wouldn't be surprised if some of that book got a little bit tougher.
They're just like, and everyone go to book 2. Here we go.
Yeah.
Everybody grab that extra mallet and
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't be shocked. Now I'm not saying they did that, but 85-8.
That's crazy.
And you just got put in the Open on last Sunday. So you had a week to prepare for Open class. I mean, kudos to those guys, though. Grassfield also had a good weekend. Provenadian in the Scholastic Open. So this is going to be a tight class, too. It really is. All a concert is. Well, okay, maybe not world. These scores have gotten a lot closer. Mm-hmm. Fishers hadn't run away with it just yet.
So a good spread, though.
It's still a good spread. But Catawba Ridge, they're keeping up, and Ayala's Ayala. Like that's just one of those groups. Like I don't care what they're scoring; they could be scoring a 62. I'm still worried about them.
You bet. You better not lack on them.
I'm still worried about them.
Because if any of that gets any closer come Dayton, it will turn into anybody's game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This group hasn't been on. And concert groups will do this. Concert groups will go out and then not go out again for like 4 months. And then
get the regional in and then just.
Oh, show.
Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, we are doing this thing. So kudos to the concert class. I'm looking forward to seeing how that finishes. You know, not just because I'm in concert class, but it's actually a close race, and people are playing really well. There are a lot of cool concert shows going out there. I need to watch Fishers because I want to see the split stuff at the end with the auxiliary.
Listen,
it's ridiculous.
I don't know if you just plan on being mad all day after you watch it, or whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Watch it if you want, but
you're gonna go home and try. Be like,
it just be pissed for the rest of the day.
I'm a grown ass adult and I can't do this. What is going on?
Listen, I say that about my kids half the time. I'm just like, I wrote it, but dang, I don't.
Right. That's why I tell my kids, like, look, I ain't got to play it.
I just have to
I just have to write it.
Yeah. been plenty of stuff. I'm like,
Y'all got to play it.
This clean right now, but here we are. All right, moving on to independent class. In independent A, we have PI leading the way right now with an A63. North Star, 84, Modulation Z, Crystal Lake, Groove Pursuit, I still like that name, Charlestown, St. Martin, Ascension, Huron Valley out of Michigan, I believe, Revelation, Cananopolis, Quad City, 10,
20s in the
Vortex,
And ended.
yep, and done.
Fruitport, and Shockwave. And if there's only 15 groups, I think everybody makes finals then. But look at all of the promotions.
Yeah.
Like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They promoted a third of the class. And said, no, you got to go. But watching all these shows, I'm not surprised. And
It's so funny when you see Infinity 3 down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
And now
up with that burger.
And Matrix A or M3. Like what you're starting to see now is, Post did it first when their open group got bumped to World. But now, you got an Infinity group and then Matrix, these groups are 3. Well, these lower groups it's kind of like we alluded to feeder systems as far as like baseball is concerned. It's almost getting like that with those type of groups in percussion and in the guard world, because those guys, not only are the performers getting skills and getting built up, but the design teams are learning how to do this stuff too. So if you do this long enough, you're getting world-class element type design in these A-class
in classes. Yep.
So like they don't look at all like A-class. They're they might drum or spin A-class, but the design looks almost world-class. So it's like, it's a hard balance.
Yep.
Which is good though, because not only are we educating our students, but we're educating our future instructors and our future designers as well. And I really, really like that. I really, really like that. So it's really good to see that type of system working like that, because we think about Blue Devils. We talk about Blue Devils all the time, and they have a Blue Devils C and a Blue Devils B and a Blue Devils A, and you can see the progression. Like the Blue Devils C group doesn't suck, and they're doing it with 8 to 12-year-olds. So they're preparing for B class, and then those designers are learning how to design, how to write drill, and it's a lot of education that's going on. That's not just towards the performance itself. So it's a really good thing. But I think it's also going to be cool that all these groups get to perform in the finals as an independent group. I think that's cool. Some people might not like that, but
I want all 3 Infinities in world.
Back
to back.
It's happening. They're going to get promoted this week. Go. Get out of class. They stay 1 week and open.
In independent open, PIO, we got United Percussion 2, set up there with an 88. It's a good number. Impact. Civitas, got to see them in Atlanta. Yeah.
Cool show.
Good show.
Yeah.
Good show.
Cool show.
Ran into them at Buc-ee's. I was like, hey, y'all were good. I like it. Good for you. Marikai with 8685. Haven't been on the Weed. Cap City 2. Cap City. Spartans. Vision out of Arizona. Shout out to Wendell. Crossroads. That's a cool name for a percussion group. Matrix Open. Down there. Bakersfield. Ascension. Motor City. Atlas. Nomad. Promoted group. Sitting at 14. Was there any more promoted groups?
Oh, Julia.
Not Julia.
I was just saying that was that had come out there. Ascension won. Ascension ascended into open class, and I took media class in high school. So Nomad's in 14th, and Mount Juliet. They had a good run too. I saw them they were down in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, their finals one was way better.
Way better than their prelims.
Way better.
I would agree. You got Matrix 3 right on their heels, though, so that's going to be really interesting to see. O-Line Q2, it has potential.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who they were, what their show was.
Yeah, it has potential. It just needs some. I don't know what it needs. I need to watch it, but Freedom, Imperion, Breakthrough, UTSA, Paradigm, Liberty, Ghost Fight, Palmetto. I think they need to be an A.
Who's this?
Palmetto.
Yeah.
It's just watching other groups and kind of seeing some other groups. I don't know. Just watching, I was just like, I think they, and it's not a slight, but WGI is about putting people in the right class, and I think they would be really successful and fit in with A, but I could be wrong. And we had a couple get bumped from there. We had Infinity and University of Rhythm get reclassified, but Open Class got some really cool stuff happening too. Like, I'm excited to see some of that. I may sneak the Open Class finals this year and not sleep in, because I usually sleep in.
Man, we did that one year, and we discovered Vigilantes.
We did, and it was well worth it. Percussion Independent World.
Was it Matrix Open that had the TVs that didn't work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Matrix Open, they had the TVs that didn't work?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they work in finals for them?
Nope.
Oh.
Matrix Open, the TVs didn't work in prelims or finals. Now, Matrix World's TVs worked in finals, but their TVs didn't work in prelims. That once Matrix World's TV started working in finals, it's a brand new show. That show was absolutely different, because when I first seen it in prelims, I was like, okay, I get it. I get what you want to do, because some of the lights and stuff still work, but none of the TVs work. But when the TVs work, that whole ballad and stuff made sense, and a whole lot of stuff made sense, which sucks and is good at the same time, because that means you're reliant on that for that moment to ride. Because I was sitting there, I was like, okay, this ballad Matrix may not be it. And then when the TVs worked in finals, I was like, yeah, y'all need to be down there with a whole stage crew, making sure everything is tight and secure or something. I don't even know what. Because come finals, y'all better not have nothing not work. I'm telling you,
I didn't even know that Matrix World had TVs.
Yeah, they do. There's there's a huge block tower in the back.
Yeah.
That's a huge monitor. And then they have the two up front. There's two black screens up front that are angled, and those are screens as well.
So,
and Matrix Open, I just don't know what their deal is. The TV's flickered on during the check. As soon as the show starts, nothing works. I was like,
that's what I noticed that too.
Because what makes me know that something's got to happen is in prelims, there were words in the very first, maybe 30 seconds of the opener, and the words went across the screen. I saw that one little flashing square cube, and I said,
yes.
Nope, TVs are broke.
Yeah, I saw that too. It started out with some kind of, there was some dude talking on TV, and then it, two of them over on the bottom, it's showed this little thing, and it was
because I think whoever gets on top of those and starts talking, the TV's supposed to reflect the words of what they're saying. And it did it for the first 3 seconds, and then I saw that the little square screen on one of the TVs that flickered. I said, "Whoa, nope, TVs are gone now." I know what that sign means.
Crews in the same sweat and just
they down there with the pad, just
right now I can't get going.
Cussing it all kinds of.
That's how it is.
It's a gamble, man.
Gamble.
So, Independent World, we got Pulse sitting up top right now with 93.2. Rhythm X, big move up, 92.3. Regional
show, man.
RCC still holding third. Broken City still holding fourth. George Mason and United. Yes, all about it. Let it happen. I need to watch
them shows are fantastic.
Both of them. Dude, that opening lick for United, those snares turn around.
Oh God.
Yes, sir. Give me more of that. So
listen,
good.
George might have me just a hair more than I am over United, but both of them shows.
Yeah.
I am here for it. So Infinity, all y'all better get it together.
Yeah, MCM's around 7th. Look at this. And I liked it early with gold.
Oh, gold. Yeah.
I like that early. Like, I was just like, this is a nice aesthetic here. So kudos to them. And for them to, with a week off and Matrix is still under them, and that's with their stuff working.
That's wild, man. That's wild.
Cap City represented Thesis. Have you heard of them?
No.
We're watching that tape. We're gonna do a react video to that live video. Thesis. I've never heard of them. I don't know where they come from, but if they're sitting right there in the 87 range.
Probably California.
You'll be doing something.
That sounds like some Broken City mess right there.
You got to be doing something.
Out of nowhere.
So we're gonna check that out at some point. We got Powell sitting 12th, Dark Sky 13th, NBI, Mr. Brass 85, and Blue Knights.
Hold on, Blue Knights. Hold on. Hold on to it.
They made their re-emergence in the finals last year, and they're looking like they want to hold on to it. Infinity's right behind the note. AQ, Atlanta Quest. Cool show.
It is.
I like what they're doing. It's just world class as a buzzsaw, man.
There's a lot happening in that show.
It's a buzzsaw.
I said that as a joke, but I think Thesis is really from California. So
they are from Bakersfield, I think. I was looking it up. I'm pretty sure. It's like I was looking up too.
Say no more.
That's a safe bet. California, Texas, Indiana. Those are safe bets. You got the Influx, Vigilantes, Riverside, River City Rhythm, running out the top 20. And so you got some other folks just kind of around here. Connection's really cool show.
That was good.
Redline.
It is.
I like the show. I'm kind of shocked to see them down here.
Audio Theater had a good run.
They did. Mm-hmm. They did. So lots of really cool things. But here's the thing: 31. There are 31 world class groups.
It's crazy, dude.
31.
And they still take 15 in world.
Dylan would take 15.
Yep. Only 15.
Yeah. So, that's going to be the thing. If they create a fourth class ever, that'll be the thing that'll do it. When you start getting 30 and 40 groups in world, but 20 or 30 or, like 20, how many were in A? Or not A, open?
Open.
28. And when that number continues to be skewed like that, or even worse, the independent open groups, I think that's one reason why they may have started looking into bumping A-class groups more than they have.
Kind of balance that out a little bit.
That sounds about
maybe balance it out a little bit because, instead of being open, some groups are just like, let us be world. And it's like, is that what you really want? Because, I mean, that's a good philosophical question that we maybe can discuss one day is, would you rather finish last in world or be a finalist in open?
Yeah, that would be a good conversation because I'm already cranking out my response to that, but
I'm writing down my dissertation about that.
That's and that's a deep philosophical question because, one, you get the label of being a world class group, but you're getting your butts kicked everywhere you go. And from an educational standpoint, it is basically down to your philosophy as a teacher or your group's philosophy as into like what you wanted out of the group. Mm-hmm. Because there's not a right or wrong answer to that.
No.
It's kind of that world-class label could also hurt you.
Exactly.
Even though you want it, you got it.
Because would it be cool to be open class for my kids to be open class? Yes, but I don't want to be open class and come in last. Like, I don't know.
That's like saying you want to. That's like what's his name? Oh, played on the Heat, and won NBA championship, but he was on the bench and never played. Oh, what's his name right now? No, it's like back when, like, oh my God, I can't think of his name right now. It's lost me. But that same kind of sentiment. No, he was actually played.
Oh.
Well, yeah, there's plenty of like NBA and NFL players that have Super Bowl and NBA Finals rings that you have no idea who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I helped. That's why.
Yeah. It's like I drew that fifth foul because they didn't even.
Hey, a lot of players are like that.
Yeah, no, seriously. Everybody wants to go to the NBA star, but don't understand, like, if you go in and, there are plenty of NBA players that made a living being a role player.
Yeah.
By not being, Robert Horry has
Draymond.
8 or 9 rings.
Robert Horry's ridiculous.
Never the star on the team, but he always played his role. So, but yeah, this weekend is the last week of regionals coming up. So you got I know percussion wise, the Long Beach, California regional. You got your 3 big California groups going head to head. They're going to get that battle worked out. So that will definitely be the regional to watch this weekend as far as percussion is concerned. Your guard regionals, they're headed down to A-Town. So, and they're all 3-day regionals. Oh, sorry, 2-day regionals. Except
I was like 3 days. No, jeez.
Yes, we are doing finals early.
Like I ain't going. We ain't going.
So
send in a tape.
All 3 of those.
We're gonna be virtual this weekend.
They're doing 4 regionals, but Atlanta, 2-day regional, full marching. In Indianapolis, 2-day regional, full marching. Manhattan Beach, California, 2-day regional, full marching. So get full marching and watch all the color guard that you can take. And then Salt Lake City's going to have one too.
I'm trying to tell you, I'll catch that Fantasia. They probably going to be at that Cali one, right?
Probably. Especially since it's the last one. They didn't go out this weekend. They probably will. Percussion-wise, their full march is going to be at Dallas, Texas, and Long Beach, California. But there's also one in Portland, Oregon. We're going to fly Will down there. He's going to be correspondent. In White Lake, Michigan. And then also this weekend is an exclusive Winds Regional in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. So big things happening down there. Also in Edinburgh, Texas, is going to be a Wind Lowland Regional. And then Dallas, Texas, and Portland, Oregon, and White Lake, Michigan as well. So lots of stuff happening as far as that stuff is concerned. So make sure you get on that. But races are heating up, man.
Yep.
And, let us know who you're rooting for, who you got going into, who you're representing, and all that good stuff. If you like what you heard, like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
It's free 90 free. Tell your friends on all that good stuff. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also listen to our podcast on anchor.fm and as well as Spotify. So lots of different ways you can find us. We'll be dropping Perk Talks and On the Back Ash Reacts as well throughout the week. So let's keep that in mind. I think we're going to do some wins groups this week. That way we can give them some love too. We ain't forgot about your wins. Y'all, they just don't promote y'all enough. So it's hard for us to find stuff.
We need to have that discussion at the end of the year. That'd be a good end of the season.
We
need to talk about that.
We'll definitely talk about it. So fellas, y'all got anything else?
Watch.
RIP to everyone's bracket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good Lord.
My bracket was done day one, so now in our group chat with our bracket that we have, I just want everybody else's to burn too. So I'm just
down with shit, man.
Poking them with the stick
style.
Like,
there's going to be way more people doing the second chance brackets that ESPN is doing than ever before, I'm sure.
Right.
No second chances in my league.
So,
I'm going to go down. You going down with me?
Dictator Zach over here.
That's right.
So for Chris, Zach, and Will, I'm Cedric. This has been episode 31 of On the Back Hash. Guys, take care of each other. Go watch the show. Go cheer on some people. Sorry.
Dot out.
Jesus.
There's always and just like
I tried to get it before William did.
And just like in high school, we always have somebody who ticks. Anyway,
right. See,
from us to all of you.
Fair enough.
Out.
Out.
Now.